Hey, this is Joe Bakhmutsky. I'm the creator of Simplified Cancer. And look, I know firsthand how much this craziness and the uncertainty and the worries that come with cancer, how much they just get to you. Like sometimes you just can't stop thinking about it. All of these unspoken fears that are always there at the back of your mind. It's like if you have issues with your partner and there's all of these things that are left unsaid, that are things that are bothering you, things that are difficult to bring up, but deep inside, you know that it's a conversation you just need to have. You want to bring those worries out in the open, out where you can examine them, see them for what they are, and find a way to deal with them. I think it's so powerful. And I really believe that the best way to do it is to write these worries out. Write them out with pen and paper, because it's just gonna make you feel so much better, because you're gonna get things off your chest, right? There's no need to filter anything out, right? There's no need to do it because it's for your eyes only. And you're gonna find things that you never expected to be there in the first place. Because one of the worst things about cancer is that all of these worries, they just kind of build up on top of each other, where you can't even, to the point where you can't even tell them apart. And the injustice of it all, and the scary thoughts, and all the horrible things that might happen, they just swim around in your head. But when you break them apart, when you lay them out in front of you, that's where you can start to deal with them and find solutions to all of your problems. So the process that I use to write them out is to get pen and paper, and I just give myself prompt. So what I write is what worries me most about cancer right now is, and then I just start writing. So that's what I suggest you do. Just grab pen and paper, or grab a phone or a tablet or whatever it is you do, and just write that, right? Just write the thing that bothers me most about cancer right now is, and just write it out. Don't filter anything out, because like I said, it's for your eyes only. And I promise you, it's going to feel that much better when you do it, because now you can examine each one and ask yourself, well, why do I feel this way? Is this for real? And what can I do about it right now? Is there anyone that I can talk to? Can I talk to a friend? Can I talk to a person who's been through it, maybe like on an online forum or in person? Can I talk to my specialist, to my urologist or oncologist or a surgeon or a nurse, right? And I'll give you a couple of examples of things that I wrote to give you a bit of a feel for what it's like. So one of the examples that I had was, this is literally what I use, right? One of the things that I had was, what scares me the most about cancer right now is that I won't be able to work, I'm going to lose my job, and we're going to have no money to live on. Now, that's real, right? So I thought about it and I thought, well, what can I do? So I decided to talk to my manager and to have the conversation with him and say, well, look, I don't know what's going to happen. There's going to be all this treatment and I'm going to need to take lots of time off, but I want to come back and I still want to work. And I spoke to my colleagues, I spoke to the big boss, and they were incredibly supportive. That made me feel so much better. Working out a solution to the problem that I knew I put into words made it so much better. Another example. What scares me most about cancer right now is that the treatment is not going to work and that I'm going to die. That's pretty confronting stuff, right? That's what happens when you're dealing with cancer. It's life and death, right? And I ended up getting lots of support from cancer survivors because I knew I needed to talk to someone. And I went on the online forum. I started asking all these questions. I ended up getting lots of support from people. And again, I ended up also talking to my oncologist, who told me that the chances of my chemo working are pretty good. But also, if the cancer doesn't go away, there's other options. There's a medical procedure that can be done. There's this other chemo that can work. So it made me feel good that I was in control, that I knew that this was a real thing. I've written it out, I've looked at it, and I found ways of dealing with it, right? As best I could, right? The third example, what scares me most about cancer right now is that I have pain in around my second testicle, and if I lose that to cancer, I'm not going to be able to have sex and my wife is going to leave me, right? Again, that's really confronting. And to be honest, I never really quite thought about it in those terms. It was just kind of worries at the back of my mind. There were just really these incredibly scary thoughts. But now that I put it into words, it brought home how irrational it is, right? Because I found out that, it's most likely it's not, it's not another cancer. But also that my wife has actually been incredibly supportive, and she's been there for me, and this thing isn't real. And I actually took it to the next level, and I broke it apart into what I call an outcome map. And I'm going to show you that in a second. So here it is. And I just want to say that I've put all the examples into a PDF which you can download. So yeah, don't stress if you can't see it right now. So I broke it down using a mind map. I don't know if you ever use a mind map, but it's nothing original that I came up with. It's just a technique to use for brainstorming, for coming up with ideas and, to make structured plans, that sort of thing. So the way you do it, you can use it in software. I use software called Xmind. It's free. You can use it on a Mac or a PC, but you can just use it with pen and paper. So you write down whatever's bothering you. So in this example, I wrote pain in the remaining testicle. And you write down all the possible outcomes. And you write down, well, in my case, it was the first cancers come back. Maybe it's a testosterone problem. Maybe it's a cancer in the second testicle. Or maybe it's another curable problem, like an infection. And then you write down the likelihood of each one as a percentage. Because when I started to really think about it, I found out that, it's not likely that it's the first cancer that has come back, because I would have pain already in a different place. I found out that, it's possible that it's a cancer in the second testicle, but probably about 5%, which isn't all that much. And it's most likely that's another curable problem like an infection, right? So I was able to go, well, I need to go and see my urologist and sort that out. So it kind of gave me this whole visual perspective of how it all works, and made me feel so much better because I knew I could really map out what the possible outcomes are. What is the likelihood of each of them coming true? And made me feel so much better, made me feel in control. Try it out, see how that works for you. And you can also apply it to a specific milestone that's coming up. So if you have maybe a checkup or a scan or a procedure or a visit to your specialist, you can do it as well. You can do it just as well. So in my example, I had first post-chemo checkup. This is where you have to wait for 6 weeks to find out if the treatment has worked. I can tell you right now, it wasn't that much fun. So I really wrote down, I said, well, the two possibilities are that cancer's gone. 90% all clear. Woohoo! That's great, right? And 10% that, the cancer is still going to be there. So, and I thought, well, what happens in this case? But I've done my research and I put down, another surgery or another chemo. And with tolerable side effects, I still have a pretty good chance of a cure. And again, that made me feel so much better. Like kind of putting it out on paper in front of me where I could visualize it, see it for what it is, and even just carry it around with me and bring it out whenever I was worried, to kind of put things into context, to go that, whatever the outcome may be, that there are solutions to most problems and that I can talk to someone and find out a way to go about it. I think this is what it gives you. This is what writing out worries gives you. It gives you a way to break them apart, to examine each one for what it is, and to find solutions, find better ways of dealing with it. You can do this, my friend. just go and grab the PDF of my website. Go to canceroutcomemap.com. That's one word, canceroutcomemap.com. Put in your email, click download. I'm going to send you the PDF right away. Try it out. See if it works for you. I hope it's been helpful. Thank you so much for watching.